Got a good crowd today. No, Pete does probably, but.
Score as many points as possible every game, but sometimes you have games where, bigger numbers needed. 2019 New Orleans, for example, I know you guys talked about that. Is that the type of game that you're kind of anticipating this week, and how much you talk about?
It's really not talked about a whole ton. I think as an offense, you always want it to be that type of week. You always want it to be high scoring. You want to make all the completions and everything, but it just doesn't work out that way every time. But yeah, I think we have to have our mind right this week for a game like that.
Kyle was talking about how he's evolved as a play caller. I think he was more of a riverboat gambler in his younger years, and now that he has a defense like you guys have had through the years, like you just call a game to win the game, if that makes sense. Have you noticed that, and just that he's been, I don't know, I think people would call it conservative, but just the way his style has changed a little?
Yeah, I think that kind of just comes with, being a head coach for a while. I don't know what you call it, maturity or whatever, but just you're growing as a head coach, as we all do as players. I think you're always trying to get better. And when you have a defense playing like we got and we've had in the past year, I think that's probably the smart thing to do sometimes. But it's one of those things you just got to feel the situation, feel the game, and whatever it takes to win. I think that's the smart thing to do.
In the off season, when your future was up in the air, and for a while there, it seemed like Miami, didn't know what they were going to do with their quarterback, and Mike and Tua have a good relationship, obviously, and things have worked out well for you back here. I mean, boy, that was a long question, long setup, but
You sound like Eric.
Sound like Brancho, yeah.
Let me finish.
But I mean, was there a point where you thought that could be a reasonable spot with your relationship with Mike?
Yeah, I mean, they were in a conversation. Not much came from it, but they were definitely one of the teams in the conversation. Seemed like a good spot. Yeah, I mean, as an offense, that's tremendous skill players, everything they got going over there. Mike, being a great coach, had been with him in the past year, and it was discussed. But yeah, I'm glad the way things worked out.
It worked out win-win for everybody, didn't it?
No doubt. Yeah, I think things got a way of working out. Just how it is.
You said now there's no doubt you were coming back in, but Kyle said at first he wasn't sure, and then Brock told one of his guys get a ball, and he started warming up. I'm just curious on your, you've been the number 2 guy before, and you have to be ready every week. What's been your sort of what you've seen out of Brock? How much better is he now than he was at the beginning of the year, even though he only gets scout team reps usually?
Brock's come a long way, as a lot of these rookies have, but Brock takes it very seriously. Give him a tip of the hat for that. It's tough to come in as a rookie and be number 2. I did that in New England, and it's just tough because you're trying to find your way as a rookie. You're trying to learn as much as possible, and the split second you might be out there. So I thought Brock's done a great job. He's helped me a little bit on the sidelines during games, and it's just when you're number 2 like that, it's the little things that go a long way. And I think he's earning the respect of the locker room, just as number 2 should.
How's your knee feel? How's your knee feel?
Feels great. Feels great, baby. No, it's coming along. Yeah, feel pretty good with it.
A little off topic, though. You see players talking about artificial turf, wanting to see grass or at least a commonality in artificial turf. Do you feel like players are talking about this, and would you support a push maybe from the union to try to get all grass fields?
Hell yeah, yeah. I always just go back to you look at Premier League soccer in Europe. I mean, they all play on grass. There's a reason why they play on grass, and it's better for the players. It's healthier for the players. Keeps the good players out there. I mean, no one wants to see injuries and get in a tough situation like that. But I think it'll take a big effort. Players, coaches, owners. It's going to take everybody to get that moving in the right direction. I think we'll get there eventually. It's just how quickly can we get there?
Did you see players or even yourself making decisions based on trying to stay on grass fields?
I mean, I could see it happening. I haven't seen it personally, but I could definitely see that happening. I think maybe when a free agent or something doesn't want to go to a team because they play 8 games on turf at home, that might raise some red flags and put ownership on notice. But I don't know. I think we're blessed here to practice on grass, play on grass. Jed does an awesome job of providing us with that. But yeah, I think eventually it'll get there. It's just how quickly will we do it.
Jimmy, Mike Mike leads this weekend, and you're working with TAPS. Why did you choose them? And is this something you look forward to and be able to support cause in a different way?
Yeah, it's a new one for me this year. I've seen George do it in the past, and I just thought it was a cool opportunity. Taps is people who have lost someone through the military, and any bit of light we could shine in their situation and just bring a little bit of joy to them, I think goes a long way. So that's what we were trying to do.
There's a 70% chance of rain for Sunday, Jimmy. How do you think that affects the game, and how do you like playing in the rain?
I think it'll affect the game very little. I think elements are what they are: wind, rain, snow, whatever it is. We've played in just about everything this year in practice, so I think we're ready for the game. Practiced out there in it today. It didn't seem too crazy, but we'll deal with whatever's dealt to us.
Was telling the Miami media Wednesday that he's been watching film of you because you obviously the offense that you run in the system that he's running now. You ever had any kind of interaction with him at all? Never even met him?
No, I haven't. I've watched a good amount of his film too. He plays very well in this offense, man. He's smooth in it.
Kyle said that JP Mason came in at the end of the game, didn't want to put all that pressure on him to have to try and get first downs at the end, but he handled it well. What was he like in the huddle?
It was awesome. The one glove man. JP, I didn't know he wore one glove until he was in the huddle with us, and kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But didn't want to say it at the time, so I saved it for after the game. But yeah, JP did a great job. He came in, was real calm. For a rookie to come in that situation and run the clock out like that, getting a couple crucial first downs, that was some big stuff.
Story on the glove.
What is it? You got to ask him about that one. But I noticed it on the field, and I was like, I don't want to ask him right now. So.
Quarterback, what makes Jauan Jennings so special on third down?
A lot of things. I think it starts with his competitiveness, what he shows in practice every day. He wants the ball. I think as a quarterback, you could see that in the receiver. If he wants the ball or if he doesn't. If a guy's a clear out route and he's just running it to clear out, and there's a difference between that and a guy who's running it to get the ball. And Jauan always wants the ball. And that's the type of guy I want to throw to. So I think he's done a great job on third down. A lot of our guys have done a good job getting open versus man-to-man and finding the soft spots versus zone. But Jauan's really done great for this.
We haven't seen a back as big as Jordan Mason. I think he's 224 in this offense. You have a closer look at it when he's kind of knocking the soul out of a defense to salt the game away. What does that feel like from your vantage point, and what kind of boost do you guys get in the huddle after he has one of those kind of stampeding runs?
Big boost. It's starting to become pretty regular for him too. He's just so strong. He's explosive, has a low center of gravity, and his cuts are just aggressive. It's everything you want in a running back, man. Honestly, he makes it tough on defenses, and I think those are body blows that wear on you in the fourth quarter. So it'll be interesting to see a full game with him.
Jimmy, last one, guys. Fake 16 stutter Zito left has been highly effective. Do you have, when you call that, do you feel like this is probably going to be a big play?
Yes. Sometimes, I feel that way about just about every play, or at least I try to get this confidence going in the huddle. But that play gets me pretty fired up. I've always been a big fan of it. Going back even a couple of years, it's always been good for us. But where'd you hear that play call from, by the way? Sources. All right, gotcha. Gotcha. He's got to work on it. He's got. Oh, good. All right. Thanks, guys.